And welcome back inside Taco Bell Arena. It is the season finale for the Broncos of Boise State as they prepare to take on the number 8 Denver Pioneers. Good evening and welcome in once again. My name is Taylor Little. Alongside myself is Katie Tuller, and it is senior night, which is a huge deal for this Bronco gymnastics team. 3 seniors that have really led the way: Paige Urquhart, Diana Mejia, Mackenzie Binion. Katie, what does it mean to be, or how does it feel at least, to be a senior on senior night?
Senior night's honestly so special. I mean, you don't get very many meets at home being in gymnastics, 3 or 4 at most, and so you really make the most of it, take in every last moment competing as a Bronco on your home turf.
Out of the 3 seniors, Paige Urquhart has competed 42 of 43 meets. Talk about misconsistency. What's it like to have a teammate that you know is going to show up every single night?
Yeah, Paige is really a workhorse for this team. She's kind of the silent leader and really just leads by example. She is so consistent and such a hard worker. Really someone that the team can look up to.
Someone else that the team can look up to, Diana Mejia. She's ranked in the top 20 nationally on bars. Sort of a specialist. She does a few more events, but really is known for her bars routine. What is that like to know that you've got somebody meet in, meet out on one event that you know is going to put up a decent score for you?
Yeah, it's kind of like Paige. I mean, you know who your reliable girls are, which, I mean, this team is full of them, but having her as a senior, you know that she's just going to lead the way for the team and really do her thing on bars. Something you might not know about Diana, actually, she was a 2-time JO champ on bars, so she is really good at that event.
So the resume speaks for itself, and it continues to speak for itself late in the season here as they prepare to head on down to Logan next week for the conference championship. Last but not least, Mackenzie Binion, somebody that has had a little bit of a different story than the rest of her teammates. When she got here, struggled a little bit academically, but now has kind of turned a corner and stands to graduate this spring with honors. How hard is it to be a student athlete and still meet academic demands, go to practice, go to class, do all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for everyone. Obviously, we've all got different personalities, so some people fit right into that. Kenzie's one that it took her a little time, but you have to remember that gymnastics is a year-round sport. It doesn't ever stop. They train year-round, so it takes a lot out of you, and you have to really learn how to manage your time, and that's something luckily she was able to do, and now she's another leader for the team.
Well, these seniors will try to lead their team to a decent score tonight so they can go down to Logan next week, hopefully score well there. They're currently ranked 10th in the RQS, which means that they stand to get a good seeding for regionals. They face the number 8 team, the Denver Pioneers, who are currently the only other Big 12 team in the top 20 behind their arch rival, Oklahoma. It is their only second year in the Big 12, and we were talking a little bit before we went on air here, Katie, that it seems like they've been in the Mountain Rim for so long. We were both a little bit shocked when we found out that they're now in the Big 12, but they're actually doing well when they get there as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought that they were because I competed against them in the Mountain Rim and I think the WAC before that, but yeah, this team is so impressive. They keep right up with those Big 12 schools. They're just a fun team to watch.
Well, it's the only top 10 matchup in the country this evening. You're watching it right here on the Bronco Digital Network. We'll be back with the first rotation right after this. Back inside Taco Bell Arena, it is the only top 10 matchup in the country this evening. You are watching the Bronco Digital Network, and the number 8 Denver Pioneers in town to take on the number 10 Boise State Broncos on senior night. My name once again is Taylor Little. Alongside me is Katie Tuller, former Bronco gymnast, with a little bit of insight in senior night. We were talking a little bit during the break. Gymnastics is a little bit different than most collegiate events in that senior night, the ceremony, as it were, is actually after the meet, whereas like men's basketball, women's basketball, they'll do it before the game. And we were kind of talking, why is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a few reasons behind it. I think primarily you really want to stick with routine, right? And that's not something that's in your every meet or your every practice. And I mean, secondly, it's pretty emotional. These girls know that this is the last time that they're competing at home. It's one of the last meets they'll ever compete in, and gymnastics isn't a sport, that you go on and do after college. Really, you can't play it recreationally, so it's pretty final. And so with that finality, it's pretty emotional.
We also talked a little bit during March Out. Most of the girls tonight have their parents in attendance. They're not watching us on the stream, which is normally the case. They're actually in the building tonight. More pressure, less pressure, good nervous, bad nervous, knowing that they're in the building?
Depends on the gymnast. For me, definitely more pressure, a little more nervous, but more fun, a little more drive. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to have your parents out there and just to try to make them proud.
The Broncos in the newer black Leos, those things are pretty sharp. I'm a big fan of those leotards that they wear on blackout evenings, which tonight is, and we'll get ready to get started with rotation number 1. The Broncos will start on vault tonight, and then we'll move to the Pioneers of Denver on bars. We will go separate and opposite of one another, so one person will go on vault, one person will go on bars through the first 2 rotations, and then as we move to rotations 3 and 4, we'll move simultaneously. Never fear, though, Denver fans, you will be able to see your girls compete. We will move to a split screen format when that happens to bring you as much gymnastics as possible this evening here inside the arena. We talked a little bit in the open about this being the final home meet. This is the final regular season meet as well. The Broncos next week head to Logan for the Mountain Rim Gymnastics Conference Championships. Denver will head to the Big 12 Championships to take on their arch rival, number 1, Oklahoma. And how nice is it, or how big of a deal is it to have a little bit of momentum heading into that conference championship?
Yeah, I mean, that's always helpful to know that you've had a few meets at home, you've rested up a little, you've got some solid scores, and you're just building from there.
So to start things off on the vault for the Broncos, it'll be Mackenzie Binion, the senior, leads the way.
And that was a great vault by Mackenzie, a little hop there, but that's a solid start for the Broncos.
And now we will move over to the bars for Denver. Sophomore Caitlin Shue will compete for the Pioneers. Running team score at the bottom of your screen along with the competitor. Excuse me. A little bit of a deal here. Sorry, I was reading off the wrong piece of paper. This is Claire Kern, the sophomore for the Pioneers.
She just had a nice Jaeger there. Good shoot over handstand. See what she finishes up here with. Hitting those handstands. And looks like she'll end with a double A. Little hop. I don't know if they'll give that to her as a stick, but that was a nice start.
So now moving over to the vault, Shani Remy will be ready to go for the Broncos. So once again, running team score at the bottom of your screen along with the competitor. Momentarily, there will be event scores running across the top of your screen. Those are in real time, so you will find out before the folks here in the arena do. It's kind of the, what would you call it, the second screen experience, but on one screen. So you don't have to refresh your phone or do anything like that. We're right here for you.
And that's the kind of vault that Shani normally does. That was beautiful.
So last week, Shani kind of stumbled a little bit out of the gate, scored low, a 9-1 as we take another look here at her opening vault for the Broncos.
Yeah, last week she was, as I talked to Coach Neal, she had gotten a little close on her entry, so her hand slid last week, so she knew well enough to not go for it, but looks like they fixed that this week, and that was a beautiful vault.
Now over on bars, a senior for the Pioneers, Leila Monte. I apologize if I am butchering that name. I'll do my best to correct it, if I am.
Next up on bars for Denver,
Leah Lamont, excuse me. The PA announcer, Jeremy, gets in my ear a little bit over here. And I think we're just waiting on a score to come in, are we not?
Not sure. Doesn't look like they're working on it. Looks like she's taking some breaths and setting up.
There we go.
Got a toe-on, toe-off chapache. Little give in her shoulders on that shoot over. Hitting handstand. And pretty good routine there from Denver. Step there at the end, but building on those scores.
And now on the vault for the Broncos, Mary Frances Burr, and that bar that just came across the top of your screen is indeed the event score. Like I said, that will update in real time.
Mary Frances is so fun to watch on vault because she's just this little powerhouse, and she has such a huge vault. That was beautiful, almost laid out.
We'll take another look here at Mary's vault.
Look at that open. It's supposed to be a pike, but I mean, she really lays that out.
Mary with a season high of a 9.875 on the vault for the Broncos, and we were talking a little bit during the break when we were watching One Touch. She looks a lot like another former gymnast that was here not too long ago, one of your former teammates.
She does. Shout out to Ruthie Pennington, or now Werner if she's listening. A lot of similarities there in the just short but powerful and beautiful big vaults.
Even down to the hairdo.
Yeah.
We'll move over to the bars, and Sam Ogden, a freshman for the Pioneers. Worth noting, if you didn't hear me mention it earlier, this team currently ranked 8th in the country, 7 spots behind their conference mate Oklahoma, who is in number 1 in the country.
A little short on her first handstand. Nice release there. Got that shoot over to hand. Toe up. And finishing off with a full out. A little long there, but she managed to stick that. And pretty good overall.
And now we move over to the vault, and Sarah Means, a young lady that is kind of working her way back into the lineups as we move through the season.
Sarah's actually a gymnast from my hometown, so it's especially fun to watch. And that was an insane vault by Sarah. She just stuck that 1.5 landing, blind landing there, laid out, and her form looked pretty perfect. I'd be surprised if she doesn't get higher than a 9.9, maybe even 9.95. Look at that height. Her legs don't separate, and she nailed that landing.
We had Coach Neil Resnick standing right in front of us, 2 fists in the air. A lot of hard work and a lot of effort going into this season for these Broncos. There was an article that came out in the local media here about a week ago talking about how this team has really bought in. They all decided to stay here in Boise over the summer to kind of really work on what was going on and really work toward being the first team to go to nationals. And now over on the bars for the Pioneers.
Some nice ganger. Little over on her handstand, but she pulled that back.
This is freshman Maddie Carr.
Shoot over hand there. And setting up for her dismount. Nice double A, little hop there. Yeah, back to your comment about staying over the summer. I mean, that's not uncommon, but with this team, Neil loves to coach and he loves to teach. So these girls aren't just maintaining skills, they're really learning new skills every summer and getting better and improving their technique, and the level of skill just keeps increasing.
Courtney McGregor now the freshman for the Broncos.
Another stick for the Broncos, another 1.5. That was beautiful. These girls are on fire right now.
So kind of the polar opposite of last week where they kind of stumbled a little bit coming out of the gate on vault. This night, on senior night, the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors trying to set the seniors out with a bang.
Yeah, they really are doing a great job of that.
So we'll move over to the bars, and sophomore Diana Chestnut for the Pioneers. One to watch here in the last 2 meets. She has set the bar for the Pioneers with scores of 9.925 and finished second overall with won the bars title in both of the last 2 meets.
See her setting up. Blind full to Tkachev. That was beautiful. Got another shoot over hand there. And setting up for her dismount. Nice lines. And she ends with a full out hop, and I don't know if they'll take a step two there, but nice solid score, I'm sure, for them.
And no pun intended, we'll swing back over to the vault and round things out. Ann Stockwell for the Broncos. Once again, running team totals on the bottom of your screen. The top is running event totals.
And Ann, another 1.5 there, little step, but another beautiful vault. I mean, these girls, their technique is pretty flawless.
So we'll take another look here at Ann's vault.
You see, nice entry, big height. Her legs don't separate at all. Just a step off there to the side.
And now, to round things out on bars for the Pioneers, senior Julia Ross. Julia from Henderson, Nevada.
It's got to be another gym cat, another kid from my hometown. Seems like tonight is full of them.
Career high on bars and the season high 9.9 for Julia.
Not bad. Had a nice hop over the low bar there. Toe on, toe off. Big ganger there. She's got some great lines. See how she finishes out this bar set for the team. Nice giant. And she'll end with double A stick, I think. They'll give that to her, so nice finish.
Big routine for the senior. And the Broncos ready to move on to rotation number 2. I think Denver will be as well. I don't think that we have anybody competing exhibition for the Pioneers on bars this evening. So once again, team totals will be at the bottom of your screen. The running event totals will be at the top. So as soon as we get those last scores put in, the graphics will reflect that, and you will know exactly where each team and each individual stands per event as we move through them. The Broncos will move to bars in rotation number 2. The Pioneers will move to vault. And we will once again go switch on and off. So Denver will go once, the Broncos will go once, and then we will move into rotations 3 and 4 where they will move simultaneously, but we will split screen that for you so you don't miss any of the action. And with that, we will move to rotation number 2. We'll take a break here real quick on the Bronco Digital Network, and we'll be back real quick with event scores and keep you updated as the Broncos move to bars and the Pioneers move to vault. You saw a little bit of a glimpse there. Dance cam going on here in the arena. One of the absolute fan favorite promo events. You can kind of see it there in the background, but if you're looking at the foreground, the graphic at the bottom of your screen is an updated team score. Boise State right now behind Denver through one rotation. Boise State, the Broncos, with a 49.275, and the Denver Pioneers, number 8 in the country, with a 49.450. And you look down the scoreboard there, Katie, and you see a lot of consistency from both teams.
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, these teams are ranked how they are for a reason. They are great on every event.
So the Broncos in rotation number 2, currently warming up on the bars. The Pioneers on vault, and we were kind of talking a little bit throughout the break. There's a freshman on this Denver team to watch here. Maddie Carr has won 6 straight vault titles. She owns 8 of them this year. About a month ago, she scored a perfect 10 against Minnesota and scored a 39.025 in the all-around that meet. So put together a pretty solid performance.
Yeah, that's nuts, honestly, to have a freshman who is that consistent and can hit that big a score. Because, I mean, sometimes it takes a little to build your name and build what you can do and show the judges that, so that's impressive.
Speaking of freshmen, there was one in Rio this past summer for the Broncos, and we'll come out and look at Courtney McGregor's vault here. She scored a 9.9 for the Broncos here in rotation number 1 as soon as we get it queued up. Sorry to put everybody on the hot seat here, but we take a look at that. And then we followed it up with Sarah Means. Also scored a 9.9 for the Broncos.
Yeah, a freshman and sophomore, and both really difficult vaults there with blind landings, and they know where they are. They nailed them. Perfect sticks there.
The youth contingency out in full force tonight for the Broncos on senior night. And we'll take another look here at Courtney McGregor's vault, as we kind of missed the front end of it the first time.
I see where they might have taken a little bobble there. Her foot almost lifted off the ground, but she pulled it back. That's some strength.
So once again, running team scores at the bottom of your screen on that graphic that just popped up. Once scores start to come in for each event, you'll see a bar pop up on top of the screen. That will be a running event score. And as we get ready, once again, we mentioned the Broncos in rotation number 2 will move to bars. The Pioneers will move to vault. One, apparently, that they do very well on. So we'll see how the Pioneers fare tonight. But the Broncos certainly no slouch on bars either, as they are currently ranked 7th in the nation as a team, averaging a 49.295 on bars.
I go back to it, but bars is really Neil's event. I think it's probably his favorite to coach. I'm probably putting words in his mouth, but he is incredible at coaching bars and teaching new skills and getting these girls to the next level.
We talked a little bit earlier this week with Diana Mejia, one of the seniors tonight. And we kind of asked, why would you come to Boise State if you had offers at other schools, stuff like that. And she said exactly that Coach Neil is a great bar worker. You knew when you were walking onto campus that you were going to be better within days of being here, let alone 4 years. And she seemed more than pleased with how her career has gone so far.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Neil, not to reference myself, but I think it's a great example because I came in with a toe front, for those of you who know what that is, and I left with a full out. It's a completely different dismount, and that's all thanks to Coach Neil and him really pushing me to be better.
How much of a learning experience is that from the day you set foot on campus to the time you graduate? I mean, if you're learning totally new skills, I mean, are you condensing 10 years worth of learning into 4, or?
Not 10 years, but you're definitely it's pretty equal, I would say. You have the basics, but it's a different skill, so you have to learn basics for a different skill. So I'd say it's a little condensed, but maybe not 10 years.
So Caitlin Shue, the sophomore for the Pioneers, going to start things off on vault. I name dropped her earlier, but now she's actually on your screen.
And looks like she had a pretty big full there and stuck.
Ann Stockwell on the bars now for the Broncos.
Ann's got great bar lines. She's a great beam worker as well. Nice ganger there, but her long limbs especially help the overall look on bars. And we'll see hitting her handstands there. Giant to, I think, full out. Looks like she stuck that landing too. That was a nice start for the Broncos.
So Ann Stockwell tries to be the spark plug this evening, and this is kind of where it got going for the Broncos a week ago as they took on Utah State. And we'll move over to the vault once again. And now Leah Lamonti, the senior. Actually, pardon me, Nicole Addison. I keep reading the wrong line on my piece of paper. Trust the process is what my producer keeps telling me, but I'm not entirely sure that he knows what he's talking about.
And looks like she's got a nice Yurchenko full hop there at the end, but some big height and pretty good form there.
The junior from Florida finishes things up, at least right now, on vault for the Pioneers, and we'll move over to bars. And Sandra Calantes, another Bronco that's seemingly been here for a really long time, but not a senior.
Yeah, I always forget that she's not, honestly.
A redshirt junior from Lima, Peru. Kind of made mention in a video that we did with her earlier this week. She kind of shouted out to the seniors and said, hey, thanks. The gap now between me and the rest of the team is going to be that much greater because I'm so much older than everybody else. that you've continued to further the gap, and you'll see event scores come across the top of your screen here momentarily. And there they are.
Got a nice straddle Jaeger, tip cast to shoot over here. Nice handstand. And she will do, I believe, a double A as her dismount. And yeah, I was right. She's got a beautiful stick there. I think the number of fifth years kind of speaks to the program. These girls love it so much they want to stick around. Replay there. Beautiful finish for Sandra.
So we'll swing over to vault, and we'll get ready to go to the senior. Julia Ross from Henderson, Nevada. Actually out of Brown's Gymnastics in Las Vegas.
Which is the same gym as Kenzie, I believe, from our team. And that was a nice Yurchenko full. Again, a hop, but nice form there.
So once again, event scores at the top of your screen, running team scores at the bottom, and Courtney McGregor gets set to go for the Broncos on bars.
Sandra Kayanta scores 9.9 on the bars.
So you hear Jeremy come through our microphones. He's the in-house PA announcer.
Courtney McGregor.
You hear that a 9-9 comes through for the Broncos for Sandra Calantes. As Courtney gets set to go.
She'll do toe on, toe off, and then again to a shapash. Shoot over handstand. And she finishes up with a full out, I believe. Nice form. Everything you can ask for there. And beautiful stick by Courtney. These girls are just consistent.
Even if you're not a senior, is there a little bit of adrenaline knowing that it's senior night? You want to send your teammates out on the right note?
Definitely. I mean, it's the last night at home, obviously, and these seniors are there for you. You know, they're leading the way for you, and you want to do your best to send them out on the highest note.
So now we go to the freshman Maddie Carr, the owner of 6 straight vault titles, 8 this year with the perfect 10 a little bit earlier this season.
Looks like she did a 1.5, and I think she stuck. Had a
Take a look here on the
coach in
replay.
the way, but that's some big height. You can see why she, you can see why she would get a 10.
So you hear the crowd kind of go nuts through our microphones. A 9.95 just came in for Courtney McGregor on bars.
And it's only building from here. So Kenzie's both season best and career best are 9.875, and I talked to Neil earlier this week, and he said she is working really hard to break her personal record. She wants to go out with a 9.9 or better, and who can blame her? And she had a beautiful opening sequence. It's one of my favorite, and she'll end here with a beautiful double A and see if she can get. She almost got the stick, little step, but that was a great routine overall. I didn't see anything else wrong with it.
And smiles all around for McKenzie, and we'll move over now to Rachel Felix, the senior for Denver.
And she has a big Yurchenko full. I mean, these girls, I keep saying it, but they're consistent. They've got great form, and they're going for the sticks.
Rachel with a career high 9.95, so certainly more than capable. Her highest this season, though, a 9.9 came 2 weeks ago against Illinois and Illinois State. So Shani Remy now up on bars for the Broncos, and once again, team totals at the bottom. They are being updated as we speak. Event totals running at the top of your screen.
And she'll start off her routine with a beautiful pike Jaeger. She knows where those handstands are, that's for sure. Beautiful shoot over. And she'll round out her routine here. Double lay, little step there, but nothing else wrong with that.
So to finish things off for the Pioneers of Denver, it'll be the sophomore Diana Chestnut on vault. This is rotation number 2. The Pioneers will move to floor after this. The Broncos will move to beam.
I would imagine they finish out here with the 1.5, but we'll see what she puts up. Oh, and it looks like a full little short there went to her knees.
We'll take one more look at it here and see if we can pinpoint exactly what happened.
Just didn't get the quite enough height there and landed short.
So now Diana Mejia, senior for the Broncos, to round things out on bars.
Another senior here going for her best routine. Again, I go back to, she was a 2-time JO national champ on bars, and you can see why. She's got one of the best gangers, I think, in the nation, Coach Neal would tell you. Finish up here, kip cast handstand to the hardest dismount in the meet, which is a double lay full out. And she took a little hop there, but it was a beautiful routine overall and should post a pretty good score there.
So we'll take one more look at Diana's routine, or at least part of it.
She piked there a little to pull it around, but beautiful overall.
So there will be an exhibition routine here for the Broncos. Maddie Nilsson, freshman, out of your hometown, your home gym.
Yeah, I mean, there are quite a few of them. I always joke that Neal has to have at least 1 or 2 Vegas kids at all times.
So Maddie certainly not making her first appearance on bars. Season best of 9.8.
And that was a huge Tkachev there. And she'll go blind half to shoot over. We finish up strong here with a double lay dismount, I believe. And she gets that stick. Beautiful.
So that'll round things out for the Broncos on bars, and the scores that you saw before they disappeared are final. The Broncos with a 49.5 on bars, showing why they're the 7th team in the country, scoring well over their RQS average.
And that's without multiple sticks too. I mean, they got the sticks last week on bars, not so much on vault, but this week it's sort of flip-flop, but they still posted an incredible score.
Denver with a 49.3 on vault as you look at the scores there on the right side. And the one that stands out, well, the 2 that stand out there, the freshman that we knew was going to come up, Carr, with a 9.95 on vault, and then Courtney McGregor, the other freshman, with a 9.95 on bars. And pretty big night for the underclassmen.
Yeah. I mean, I think the seniors have a little extra pressure. I'm sure they'll rise to it. But I think the freshmen are just leading the way, doing what they know how to do, and trying to take the seniors out on a high point.
So we'll move to rotation number 3, and the Broncos will move to beam. The Pioneers from Denver will move to floor. We'll be right back after this on the Bronco Digital Network. Stay with us. Back inside the arena, and the youths going nuts for a t-shirt toss as Courtney McGregor led the way there during the bars rotation for the Broncos with a 9.95, as the Broncos now just in front of the Pioneers of Denver, 98.775 to 98.750. So razor thin margin. Denver has seen this Boise State team twice this season, and both times has come out on top. But in, excuse me, Katie, but in rotation number 3, they'll try to even the tables here as Denver on the floor, the Broncos on the beam.
If I'm not mistaken, Denver beat us at their home by that margin at their last matchup.
So speaking of the last rotation and Courtney McGregor with that 9.950, that team score for the Broncos on bars ties the third highest bars team score in school history. As I have to really search for some words there. That was a really full sentence. Want to make sure that I got it right.
I think you got it.
So we will finish up with the one touch for rotation number 3. And like we said, the Broncos on vault, the Pioneers on floor. They will go simultaneously, but you need not worry because we're going to bring you all the gymnastics action you can handle. Split screen action here in Taco Bell Arena. The running team score on the bottom of your screen, the running event score at the top, and Diana Mejia getting things started for the Broncos on the beam.
Diana's got such a nice flow on beam. Start off with a full turn.
So Diana on your left, on your right, Courtney Loper, the freshman for the Pioneers.
And she's setting up for her first pass on floor. She'll open with a front double. And great series on the left there by Diana. Nice stick.
This Bronco team pretty solid on the beam.
Nice switch leap, jump, full turn. And great second pass there, front lay to front full on floor.
Broncos currently ranked 14th as a team nationally on the beam.
Beautiful side summy on beam. Diana just keeps her flow going, solid and steady. She's setting up for her dismount. Round off 1.5, and she sticks that. That's a great opener for the Broncos and a beautiful final routine for Diana at home. And 1.5 front tuck. Looked like she was a little short there, but nice routine to open up for Denver.
Courtney Loper, a freshman from West Des Moines, Iowa. Season and career high of 9.875. Set that new career high just a little bit ago on January 14th and made her debut just a week prior on January 7th. Now on the beam for the Broncos, Courtney McGregor. See if she can continue to hold on to the momentum that she built just an event ago on bars.
Yeah, Courtney definitely knows how to handle the pressure. I mean, there's no bigger stage for gymnastics than the Olympics, and she's been there, done that. So this size crowd and this level of competition, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is tough, but she can handle it.
So also getting ready to go for the Pioneers, Julia Ross, the senior, will be making her last appearance as a Pioneer on floor in the regular season.
Courtney getting underway here.
Diana Mejia scored 9.825 on the beam for the Broncos.
And she'll have nice front tuck to split leap, solid. Beautiful full split leap, or split jump, sorry there.
So Julia Ross enters the screen on your right, McGregor still on your left.
And she has a solid series there. Flip flop, lay. Setting up for a first pass on floor here. She'll open with big double pike. Steps out a little wobble there, but huge.
You'll see the running team score go back and forth throughout the meet. The scores are entered randomly, so they may go up by a lot here for a second and then right back even again, and now you see the event scores come to the top of your screen.
And Courtney just ended her beam routine with a beautiful 1.5 stick, getting things going for this beam team.
Julia Ross still in the middle of her floor routine.
I believe her second pass there was a running punch 1.5, done beautifully. And she'll set up here for her final pass.
Set a career high on floor just a week ago.
She looks to be a front tumbler. That last pass was not quite a full twist there at the end. So we'll see what the judges give her if they take off for a connection there.
So Katie, we're watching here Courtney McGregor, that last dismount for her on beam at home this year. How nice is it to leave with that?
Yeah, that's a solid dismount right there and a solid meet so far for Courtney. I don't think she's really thinking about it that way. She's got a long career ahead, and hopefully they have a few more meets left in this season. So I'm sure she's just focused on her teammates and getting to nationals, hopefully.
The Broncos and the Pioneers currently separated by a 10th as you look at the team score. During the meet, are you ever scoreboard watching, even between rotations, or you just kind of let things play out and chips fall where they may?
Depends on the girl. I definitely did because I was just a bars girl, so after that I was trying to tally. But I think if you're an all-rounder, you're just focused on your routine. And Paige here on beam, she is incredible. She knows exactly where the edge of the beam is. I mean, that series comes so close. And she's just so solid and consistent. She just goes through her routine, serious face, gets it done. Coach Neal was telling me that she's so intense with everything she does. She can drink a cup of coffee and be intense. That's just his way of playing around. But she is so serious and so great at what she does.
Caitlin Shue for the Pioneers on the right side of your screen on the floor for Denver.
And Paige ends with a nice 1.5. I think she'll get a stick there. On floor, we open with a front double twist. And her teammates are playing it up with her. She'll set up here for her second pass. And she goes around 1.5 to a punch front lay. And beautiful leap series there. Switch leap to jump straddle quarter.
Shani Remy getting set to go on the beam for the Broncos as well. You'll see her pop into the other side of your screen. There she is on your left.
Denver setting up here for her final pass. Front 1.5. Shani sets up here for her series. Flick lay step out. Solid, no movement there. Shani's so fun to watch. She's got such personality, and she lets it show through no matter what event she's on, but especially beam and floor when you have the dance and she can play along there with the moonwalk. And Shani's such a solid competitor for the Broncos. I mean, sophomore, she's competed in every meet all around, and you can see why. I mean, she's just so solid, and that's a lot. I mean, as a club gymnast, you compete 6 or 7 meets a year, and Olympics even is just 3 or 4, but collegiate, you're competing around 10, and to do all around at every single meet is a lot on the body, but she just takes it and runs with it. She just stuck her dismount there, and that was such a beautiful routine for her. She'll get at least a 9.9 on that, I think.
You are looking live at freshman Maddie Carr now on the floor for Denver.
She opens with a big double pike. Nice finish there.
A career and season high of 9.95 for the freshman from Stillwater, Minnesota.
Setting up for her second pass. Again, her teammates in the corner cheering her on. that was beautiful. 1.5 punch front full. Yeah, this girl can tumble, and her leap passes are pretty great too.
Carr owns the second highest team RQS for the floor this year, right behind her teammate, Nicole Addison. And now on beam for the Broncos, Sarah Means.
Got a final pass on floor here. Sarah sets up for her series. And beautiful sticks on both there. Sarah's the other sophomore with Shaney, and she is a team captain. Just another solid worker and solid leader. Beautiful leap series there.
So once again, if you're just joining us, event scores running at the top of your screen. That ticker is live, so it will update as scores come in. The scores at the bottom of your screen, excuse me, are live team scores. So as team scores get added in, those will be adjusted, and you'll be able to follow along with everybody here in Taco Bell Arena.
Beautiful front summy there, stick. And she finishes with her dismount stick. These girls are hitting all around.
So take one more look here at Sarah's routine.
She does one of the only side dismounts, I think in the meet, but definitely in our lineup.
So now Nicole Addison, the owner of 6 floor titles this year.
She'll set up for her first pass here. And we know why now. She opens with a huge double lay, and she is playing up her music.
Set her career and season high about a month ago on floor with a 9.95.
She'll set up here for her second pass. 1.5 punch front lay. Nice form.
So now on beam here, Alex Esmerian for the Broncos. Sorry about that. She popped into the screen without me seeing her. Got caught up in the routines here a little bit.
She had a fall there on her series. See if she can finish up strong for the team though. We've got a final pass here on floor. Wobble there on the jump series on beam, and we'll end with a double pike on floor. Huge routine for the Pioneers.
So Alex Esmerian will finish things up here in her routine, rotation number 3 for the Broncos.
And not her best routine, but she finished strong there with a nice 1.5.
Take another look here.
She's just a little off to the side there and couldn't quite pull it back on her series. I mean, that's a tough series to do. You've got 3 in a row. You've got to line that up dead straight, and it doesn't always go your way.
So up next for the Pioneers on floor, the sophomore Claire Kern. Live on your screen right now. And Alex was the last Bronco on the beam, barring an exhibition. I don't think we're going to get one based on the team huddle going on over there. So this will be the final routine of rotation number 3 between these two teams. And Katie, between both of these teams tonight, really clean, solid, fluid gymnastics it looks like.
Oh yeah, I mean, they are the top 10 for a reason. They are super clean. They've got huge skills, and I mean, they make it look easy, and that's how you know they're good. Leap series there, not quite a full split on the leap, but nice jump out of it.
Claire, a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. has a season and career high of 8.975 on the floor.
She'll set up for her second pass. She gets a big double tuck. Playing up with her music to her team. And see what she finishes here with. Looked like it was going to be a front lay to a punch front full, slid and not quite made it to her feet. So got a fall there for the Pioneers, but I think their first 5 will do them justice.
Take one more look there, and her teammates certainly put together some routines before her. Nicole Addison, the team leader, right in line with her season average of a 9.925, and then followed up by Carr at a 9.9. So the Pioneers certainly no slouches on the floor, and they'll get ready to move to their 4th and final rotation on the beam. The Broncos will get ready to move to the floor, one of their better events to end on. We'll be right back here inside Taco Bell Arena. It is senior night on the Bronco Digital Network. Hang with us, we've got one left. The 49-4. They move to rotation number 4 in the lead, 148-175 to Denver's 147-850. And there you see the scores pop up. And Shani Remy continues to set the pace for the Broncos at home this season with a 9.925. Nicole Addison, on the other side of things, falls right in line with her season average, 9.925. And as you hear the song play in the background, I'm going to go ahead and call myself out. Not a lot of Village People music knowledge there. Not real familiar with the discography. I'm singing Macho, Macho Man, which I think are some of the lyrics of this song, but it is indeed YMCA. But hey, we check ourselves with the facts before we bring them to you. Sometimes we don't, but we'll always correct ourselves as you watch here on the Bronco Digital Network. And the final rotation now here tonight on senior night. The Broncos end on floor, one of their better events. They're currently pretty decent. As a team, they're ranked in the top 25, tied for 22nd in the country with an RQS of 49.110. Got to have a lot of confidence headed into this last rotation.
Yep. Home meets are fun because you get to end on floor. I mean, they're fun for a bunch of different reasons, but ending on floor, it's kind of like a sense of relief. You're done with beam, you're done with the real pressure, it feels like, and you get to just go out and play to some floor music and play up the crowd at home.
Pretty good house tonight here at Taco Bell Arena. 1,870 Bronco fans turn out for senior night. This is, of course, their last home meet before they head to Logan, Utah next week for the Mountain Rim Gymnastics Conference Championships, and then hopefully a bid to regionals, which is kind of up in the air until after that conference tournament. After the conference. Sorry, the seeding in regionals is up in the air until after conference. Let me get my words straight there. I apologize.
Yeah, these two teams are definitely going to regionals. It's just a matter of where they fall in the ranking and where they end up.
Sam Ogden on the beam for the Pioneers to get things started.
Just a full turn to start.
Freshman from Allen, Texas.
She'll set up for her series.
And senior Paige Urquhart will start things off for the Broncos on the floor in her final routine as a senior at home.
Nice flick lay series there on beam. And stuck aerial, beautiful split jump there. Paige will set up on floor for her first pass. And she opens with a front 1.5 twist. Nice opener there. Switch leap, split jump on beam. No movement, solid there. Paige setting up for her second pass. And we'll set up here on beam for dismount, round off, 1.5 twist stick. And nice opener on beam. And nice second pass there from Paige. Beautiful leap series on floor. See, Paige isn't always serious. She's got a smile on right now. She knows how to work the judges and work the crowd. And she'll set up here for her final pass. And she ends with a nice 1.5 twist. I love that music ending. Her music ends with the Bronco horse.
Take one more look here at one of Paige's passes.
Front double. Solid final routine for Paige, and that's got to be such a great feeling. Bittersweet.
Nicole Addison now set to go on the beam for the Pioneers of Denver. A little bit of emotion from Paige there as she hugs the coaches. Running team scores once again at the bottom of your screen. They will update as scores come in, but they are not final until the rotation is done, obviously.
Nicole got her full turn out of the way here, and she'll set up for her series. Beautiful flick lay step out. Not sure what went wrong there, but she fell off the side. Doesn't look to let it rattle her though. She'll set up here for a leap series. Switch leap, straddle jump, straddle 3/4, solid. Shaney here on floor. Such unique music and such a fun routine. She'll set up for her first pass, and that was a nice, I think, side semi on beam. I only caught the tail end of that, but looked to be a stick. Front double twist from Shaney. Beautiful opening pass. And nice dismount there on beam. I love it. I said it last meet, but her little smirk makes me laugh every time. The routine is so fun and so Shaney. She has a big double pike, just takes a step back just to finish it. Doesn't even look like she needed the step though. I mean, looking at Shaney, I don't think you would even know that this was meet, 9 or 10 versus meet 1. She's just so focused and so on her game. She'll end with a nice last pass there. Just doing what Shaney does.
Big smile on the face of one of the judges right across the floor here as Shaney finishes her routine. And you mentioned the really fun routine, certainly that, and the judges sort of get into it too as we now move over to Courtney Loper on beam for the Pioneers.
Yeah, I think the whole point of floor is, well, not the point, but it's definitely a goal to get the judges into it, because if you get them smiling, you know you have a better shot at getting a better score. You got to pull the crowd and the judges into it.
Mackenzie Benyon also set to go here for the Broncos here momentarily as the scores get passed around on the floor side of things. Last time these two teams met, it came right down to the wire. So keep an eye on that team score at the bottom of your screen, and certainly keep an eye on the running event score at the top of your screen as well.
Beautiful standing front layout, step out to an aerial on beam. Slight movement, but nice solid pass there. Kenzie sets up for her big opening Arabian, probably one of the best in the nation. The height she gets on that is just insane. She knows exactly where she is, even though it's a blind landing, and God, she just does that so well.
So as you can see there at the top of your screen, Paige Urquhart with a 9.85. for the Broncos, and then Shani Remy follows her up with a 9-9 on the floor.
And that was a nice side summy there on beam. Got punch front 1.5 off of the beam. Little hop there. Kenzie finishing up her routine, and this year she does 3 events, which is the most she's ever done. So again, it just speaks to Neil and how he coaches, and Tina and Patty as well. But they're always about coaching and teaching and getting these girls to grow. She'll set up here for her last pass. That was a nice 1.5 front full. And again, another great routine to finish out her home career.
Take one more look at Kenzie's pass here.
That double Arabian is just so big. You can see she doesn't look for the ground, she just knows. And you're gonna see some tears, I'm guessing, here.
And she mentioned a little bit earlier when we interviewed her in the week, she wasn't super emotional. I think no matter how much you think that about yourself, senior night's a different story once you get off the floor.
For sure. I think I saw a little glimmer there in her eye. Maybe it was sparkles, but I'm sure it got to her.
Caitlin Shue, now the sophomore from Orlando, Florida, on the beam for the Pioneers of Denver.
Nice opening series there.
On the floor for the Broncos. And next on the floor for Boise State and Stockwell.
A 9-9 for Mackenzie Benyon on floor after that routine.
Nice sheep jump there, one of the harder jumps because you're not spotting the beam, you don't know where you are exactly.
And Stockwell on your right.
And nice solid dismount there from the Pioneers. Ann will set up here for her first pass. She's definitely a dancer. She's got those long limbs that just flow. And front double opener. Beautiful leap series. So unique. Little, I don't even know what to call that, honestly, but jump down to the floor. She'll set up here for her second pass. Take a deep breath, and she's got 1.5 front full. She's got her teammates on the side getting into it.
Julia Ross getting set to go for the Pioneers over on the beam. Ross on a hot streak right now, has won 2 straight beam titles, won her most recent one last weekend at Ohio State with a score of 9-9. Her 4th score this season of 9-9 or better on the beam.
And all smiles from Ann with that last pass there, 1.5, and great routine for the Broncos. Set up for nice leap series. That was beautiful. Full split. Again, blind jump there, but knows right where the beam is and finishes that the stick.
Julia, sorry about that, Katie. Go ahead.
Nice front layout step out to, I think that was a back handspring there, stick.
Julia set a career high on bounce beam not too long ago of a 9.95.
And an aerial to a full for her dismount.
As you sort of hear Jeremy in the background, sorry about that, Katie, a 9.925 on floor for Ann Stockwell, and now Abby Webb up as we'll take one real quick look at Ann.
1.5. Abby, the only Idahoan on the team. And her routine is fun to watch. She pulls I think a little bit of the music from another one of my former teammates. We'll get the countryside in here later. Nice double pike. Abby plays up to the judges there. Beautiful switch side straddle jump.
Now on the beam, Claire Kern, the sophomore, Maddie Carr, the freshman, on beam for the Pioneers.
We've got front leg, front full. Looks like her foot might have slipped out there, fell. Nice series on beam, aerial to flip flop. Full turn with a little wobble there. See if Abby can pull it back for her final pass. Brush that last pass off. And she does a nice double back to end her routine. Solid split full there on beam.
So Maddie Carr finishing things up on beam here for the Pioneers.
Looks like she'll set up for a round off. Looks like round off 1.5 stick for Denver. That was a beautiful routine.
So that'll finish things up at least in the normal lineup for the Pioneers. So keep an eye on that team score, because the one that pops up here momentarily will more than likely be the final one.
Yeah, it looks like she just was a little short there. Her feet got out in front of her and she didn't have the right angle to block. But she ends, you can see, with a nice double tuck pass.
So you take one last look here at Denver before we get things too far off. And Sandra Calantes now on floor for the Broncos to round things out. We will have one exhibition routine for the Broncos after Sandra.
And Sandra's just a natural on the floor, I think primarily because her personality. She's always dancing and singing, so floor is kind of made for her. Minus the singing part, I guess. Sandra will set up here for her first pass with a big half in, half out. You can see why she is last in the lineup to round out the Broncos. Her leap series always impressed me, just full split. So beautiful. She'll set up here for her second pass.
So the score now at the bottom of your screen for Denver is final. So that is the bar to meet for the Broncos.
And that was such a nice 1.5 to punch front leg for Sandra. Just having fun soaking it in. Sandra will set up here for her last pass and last routine of the night. And she ends it with such a nice double pike. Chest was down a little bit, but gosh, that's such a great routine.
Big eruption from the Bronco teammates there on that last pass. I think they knew that that was a big routine for them.
An important one for sure. Yeah, half in, half out. Nice opening pass, so big. And then her double pike to finish. You can see her chest was down a little there, but it was such a great routine.
So we do have one more routine for the Broncos. It is an exhibition routine. Freshman McKenna Morrell, the 5'2" freshman. And we'll see a 9.925 there for Sandra. So once these scores are finalized, and it looks like they are right there at the bottom of your screen, the Broncos in their third and final meeting with Denver this year managed to come out on top, something they were not able to do in the first 2 trips out of the door.
And that's got to be the biggest score of the season and probably one in the history books, honestly.
A 1.97675 for the Broncos. And McKenna Morrell, the freshman.
Big double pike there. Fun fact about McKenna is she came from a club gym where one of my former teammates was her coach down in California. Nice leap series there.
So Katie, we are just now getting confirmation that 1.97675 is indeed the best score in school history for the Broncos. And what a wave to ride headed into Logan for the Mountain Rim Gymnastics Conference Championships.
Yeah, that is so incredible. I mean, beating any record or setting any school record is so cool, but to get that high of a score and set that record is, I mean, I don't know what's better than that. I don't know how you end your home career better than that.
The season high prior to this for the Broncos, a 1.97075, so 0.6 higher.
And she ends with a nice double tuck. I mean, I don't know how you could go into a routine with more confidence, just knowing that your team set up such a huge score and you're just going to have some fun.
Well, as things kind of get wrapped up here, we'll take a break, catch our breaths. We'll bring it back to you, get you some final scores, event winners, and all that here at Taco Bell Arena on senior night. We'll be back here on the Bronco Digital Network. Hang with us. Well, senior night ends with a bang. The Broncos take the meet home with a 1.97675, the highest score in school history as a team. Denver hot on their heels, 1.97150, nothing to shy away from. And we were talking a little bit during the break. Your senior year on the team, we were talking 1.97 was like the score to get.
Yeah, I mean, 197 is huge in and of itself, but they blew that out of the water. I mean, forget the matchup with number 8 and losing to them twice this year. I mean, hitting that school record is such an incredible feeling that not many people get to feel.
So you see co-head coach Tina Bird presenting some flowers to trainers and support staff here for the Broncos. We mentioned it is senior night, so some flowers given to the seniors from Denver, as is tradition. And then some seniors here for the Broncos will come up and get their flowers as well. 3 of them that we mentioned, and we'll take a look at the final standings here on vault. Coming into it, we kind of mentioned that Maddie Carr was pretty good at vault.
Just a little bit.
And a 9.950 for the freshman from Denver. She scored a 10 earlier in the season, and then Sarah Means and Courtney McGregor hot on her heels with a 9.9 for the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, those were some great vault scores, some huge vaults with beautiful sticks.
We'll move on to the bars, and Courtney McGregor matches Maddie Carr's score, 9.950, and a great routine from Courtney, followed closely by Denver's Sarah Ogden.
And one of the better events for both teams, I think.
Excuse me, Sam Ogden. I don't want to rob her of that. And then we'll move on to the beam, and Shani Remy does what Shani Remy does and scores a 9.925 for the Broncos, tying Denver's Julia Ross. And then finally we'll move to the floor, and Ann Stockwell and Sandra Calantes lead the charge for the Broncos, tying Denver's Nicole Addison with a 9.925. And this is really where the Broncos made their bread tonight, Katie.
Yeah, and those 2 solid juniors there. I I don't want to say leading the way for the team because they were towards the end there in the lineup, but for good reason.
And so the final standings shake out so that once again Boise State scores a school-high team score of a 197.675. We can't stress that enough. Their high coming into this evening was a low 197, and it's kind of an oxymoron to say that, a low 197. 197 is nothing to sneeze at,
No.
but they just sneezed all over that.
They shattered that, and there are definitely some tears in maybe in the crowd, but definitely in our line here and celebrating these seniors in that historic moment for them.
So Diana Mejia, excuse me, Katie, getting presented with her senior gifts, and you wrap up your meet, you get done with all your stuff, you come out here for the awards. This is when it all kind of starts to hit you.
Yeah, and this is why they do this last. I mean, it is so emotional, and it's such a great way for these girls to go out. This is something they're going to remember forever. I know some of the highlights of my career, and it was definitely not a team record like this. This is something they'll be talking about when they're old and telling their children and grandchildren about.
Families in attendance as well for senior night. We were talking before we even started the meet tonight, talking about good pressure, bad pressure, having your family in the house. And you were talking about, you used to always tell your family, stay away from bars while I'm competing. Don't even get near me.
Yeah, there's a set of seats right in front of the bars, and they knew that was a no-go zone for them. They had to stay out of my eyesight. I love having them here, but it definitely made me a little nervous if I were to see them and be able to pick them out of the crowd.
We mentioned in the open, Paige Urquhart, that you're looking at on screen right now, competed in 42 of 43 career meets. Talk about a workhorse. A lot of family in the house, and she has a very, very solid career to be proud of. One that's not over yet. A lot of unfinished business.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely take tonight, and I'm sure this coming week, to relish in that historic moment, but then they'll have to block it out and focus on championships and then regionals, and hopefully making another historic moment for the team and moving on to nationals.
So your three seniors from left to right, Paige Urquhart on the left, Diana Mejia in the middle, and Mackenzie Binion on the far right, certainly set the bar for Boise State in their careers here as Broncos. And they will all move to the edge of the mat, and there's a little bit of a tradition here at Boise State that one of the underclassmen is in charge of making a senior video that the seniors watch at the end of the meet. So we will sit back and enjoy that, and we will take a look at some replays here, some highlights of the meet. And first, Sarah Means on the vault for the Broncos.
Such a huge vault, and that stick, I mean, can't beat it.
So Sarah was closely followed by Courtney McGregor, and Courtney McGregor with a 9.9 on this event.
It's like a 1-2 punch there. Same vault, same stick.
And then Courtney carries the torch into the bars routine where she scores a 9.950, and we'll look at the entirety of her routine here.
Such a cool combination there, the toe on, toe off to toe on, toe off shapash, and ends with such a big dismount. And such beautiful lines. Full out there. She knows how to stick.
And then the Broncos in rotation number 3 moved to the balance beam, and Shani Remy made quick work of this, scoring a 9.925 for Boise State.